In short, we want to be a community hub. We want to be a node in a network of people creating more in a shared space than they could individually. So I want every single person that is working here to get more done than they do sitting at a coffee shop, than they do sitting at home. I want people to succeed. So at the end of the day, I sell success at Second Shift. And we do that through community. Community for us is the mechanism. Collaboration is a viable, not only social engagement structure, but also business model for success. Not only for us as a business, but for every single person in here. And so it's the same platform that CNC was built on. At CNC, our motto was do more together. And it's that same idea set here. And how we do that, I mean, every co-working space is going to say that they offer community. Every single one will talk about that. How we set ourselves apart, and to be bold and frank about it, I think we are better at it than a lot of other spaces. We do that by giving people a really fun and engaging platform for getting to know each other and engage with each other. So not cramming it down anyone's throat, not forcing people to hold hands and get to know each other and do all this stuff. What we do is provide all these opportunities where people would be like, oh, I want to go to that. So things like a Monday morning huddle where we check in and talk about sharing our goals and our assistance to one another weekly, anybody who wants to. Things like snack socials and lunches where it's just for the fun of it, get together, eat food, hang out. Things like game nights. Things like professional, obviously most co-working spaces will do a professional development workshop. So whether we're learning SEO or how to build a website or legal tips or something like that. So or productivity tips. Lots of opportunities for doing things together in the same space. And there's one last piece of it, and I will give a shout out to Saya Hillman, who runs Mac and Cheese Productions. That's a company she's built over the last 10 years, decade. It's a social events company. It's a getting to know new people platform and series of events and workshops and that sort of thing. And what I've seen Saya do is at all of her events, she reinforces the values of those events. So at her Idea Potluck, which is one that I really liked, she would say, when you're here at Idea Potluck, you can walk up and talk to anybody. Everyone here is welcoming and we're all open. So whether people actually were or not before she said that, now everyone has that in their head. They're like, oh, I can just walk up and talk to anybody. And what that does, it's like a placebo effect. It's just, okay, now we do that. And everybody starts doing that. Yeah. So I learned from her, share your values up front. And what I do at Second Shift is I say, we're inclusive, all people are welcome, we're collaborative, we're open to helping each other, and we're friendly. And I tell our people who tour that, and I tell our new members that, and what it does is it just automatically places this expectation that we're going to be inclusive, friendly, and collaborative, and people will, again, not everyone has to. If you want to sit with your headphones on and work for 8 hours and leave, that's totally fine, but a lot of people do find that to be very inviting and say okay, I'm going to work for a few hours, and then I'm going to take my headphones off and go have coffee and talk to somebody and that sort of thing.
Yeah. Okay. So, does Second Shift promote the growth of people in the community workspace?
How does Second Shift promote the growth of people in the space? A couple different things I'll throw out there. We get to know the people that sign up, so I know personally what everyone is working on and what they're kind of doing, what their skills are. So I get to know that. We ask everyone else to make a profile that we put up on our wall and our website, which is an actual piece of physical paper, which is another rare thing that not a lot of people are doing. We talked about community building and platforms, and apps are great, and we do need tech tools to connect people, but we have pieces of paper on the wall that show who people are, and we ask what you're working on, what you're looking for, and how you can offer to others. And that allows me to not have to be the only person who knows what other people are doing, right? So people come to me and they say, Levi, I need a designer. And I say, there's one right over there. You can go talk to him. Or I need a lawyer. That person over there is a great lawyer. So I can be a source of information, and I am often, but allowing the community to source that themselves from one another and building trust and relationships among one another also allows for that to happen really easy. So we create a space where they can ask each other for those things. Other things we do then are actually promoting the work of the members inside of it. So we just sent out our end of the year newsletter yesterday, and I did a big feature on one of our members' Toolbox for Education and Social Action, or TESSA for short, founded by Brian Van Slyke, who works out of here in Second Shift, and they sell social action, social mission board games. And so I promote them and say, if you're buying Christmas gifts, you should buy them from TESSA. And so I want the people that follow Second Shift to see what our members are actually working on and buy from them and support them and like have financial, economic resources flowing through their work. And so it is like, it's a space where you can brainstorm with one another. We share a lot of information. You know, it's not being so scared of you know, my ideas are mine and I can't tell anybody, and you know, nobody here is signing NDAs just to like talk to each other's work. Yeah. So it's that idea of like, hey, let's support each other, and then that can turn into actual like hireability or hireable situations. We're like, hey, I like your work and I need a person of your skill set. Let me pay you for your stuff. So.
Oh, that's beautiful that you can build that kind of trust here, because honestly, that's definitely one thing. It's like, oh, people are like, oh, I don't want you to know this because it's going to help you, not me. So that's beautiful that you can that there are communities out there, especially like yours, that can give people that trust to come and really just share what they hide inside because it means so much to them. You know?
Without naming spaces, it's a critique you hear of other spaces is that it feels too competitive. And
what have you learned about when people share what they're doing? Which I think is something that does not happen very often, and that's something that we talk about with trust.
Is when you feel like you have all the resources and tools and answers you need around you, it feels like you can do anything. It's a sense of like, my problems are only as deep as my network, so to speak. Like, failure is a big part of entrepreneurship, right? Or even just work. Not everyone here at Second Shift is an entrepreneur. We have remote workers as well. So even if you're just working, or if you're working on your own thing, I'm gonna hit roadblocks. I'm gonna hit moments where I don't know how to interact with my coworkers. I don't know how to like sell my product. I don't know how to get through the next legal hurdle that I have for my business. But if I can't answer that question, then my project or my work is done. And that is what we would say is failure. Like, I would have to stop. We didn't make it. If I can turn sometimes literally to the left or right, or maybe digitally when we have a Slack or some sort of other community tool, and I can get that answer, it allows me to keep going. I mean, it's as simple as that. It allows me to keep making progress and keep working. And there's a piece to it that is, I'm not sure if people understand this outside of like the co-working world, which I didn't learn until we had built CNC, and then now it was obviously what I wanted to create at Second Shift, which is when I build a relationship with others, I then trust or know more about the information I get from them. So even though not everyone here at Second Shift knows each other, everyone here knows that people are at Second Shift because they, to some degree, believe in the same stuff we do, which is collaboration, sharing, that sort of value. Yeah. And so if somebody is in our Slack or in the community or sitting around at a Monday morning huddle and they've never met before, but I know you're here at Second Shift, I know that I can at least give some sort of instant credibility to your answer. So if I ask, what's a good CRM? Rather than Googling what's a good CRM, I'm not going to trust that information as much. Google is great, but it's just blind, random information. In fact, I really might not trust it if I don't know these websites and these sources of information. Even Yelp, if I'm saying, who's the best lawyer in town? Yelp is going to tell me some answers, but I don't know who those people are. When I get to know people, literally break bread with them, spend time with them, socialize, have game night, have a couple beers or happy hour, whatever it is, then when I come back and I need a professional answer from them, I trust that information because I know them. Or the flip side of it is I know that I don't trust them because I know them. It's still because I know them. I'm like, the way that that person works is not my style. So if they say that they like it, maybe I don't like it. And that's still useful. Right. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. Learning who I want to engage with more and what information I'm going to trust, that's what it's all about. So that's what we really get out of being here.